You know, sometimes people want to ask, if there's really a God, why doesn't he show himself to us? Why doesn't he reveal himself? And you know what? I think God is looking down from heaven saying, did you not notice everything? The created world shouts to us that there is a God. It shouts to us that there's an intelligent maker. The fact that all this is beautiful also shouts to us that this maker is beautiful. Edward Conklin, one of Einstein's assistants, said, the probability of life originating from an accident is comparable to the probability of an unabridged dictionary resulting from an explosion in a printing shop. Think about that. Print shop explodes, paper, ink, bindings flying through the air. Hey, a dictionary. I don't think so. On a molecular level, your fingernail is more complex than a library full of dictionaries. This whole God thing is actually, truly, really real. And the more we learn about the created world, the more we know that there's actually a God. Scientists used to think that the universe, since the Big Bang, was exploding and expanding through space and time. We know better now. We know that the universe is not expanding through space and time because, check this out, this is mind-blowing, this is crazy. It actually contains space and time, which means outside of the boundaries of this expanding universe is literally nothing. Not even space, not even time. That means that before the Big Bang, there was actually zero. You're telling me that could happen by itself? That a Big Bang could somehow Big Bang itself? And 13.7 billion years later, rational creatures are walking around drinking Starbucks, just kind of happened by itself. Everything into nothing, all by itself. I don't think so. We have no excuse to not believe that there's a creator, my friends. Atheism is kind of like a flea that doesn't believe in the dog. Written in the Old Testament from wisdom, all men who were ignorant of God were foolish because they were unable from the things that are seen to know him who exists. And they didn't recognize the craftsman while paying heed to his works. See, if you know that there's a work, you can assume that someone made it. You can assume there's a craftsman behind it. And St. Paul wrote about the Gentiles who didn't have revelation, who didn't have scripture. He said, for what can be known about God is plain to them, because God has shown it to them ever since the creation of the world. His invisible nature, his eternal power, his deity have been clearly perceived in the things that have been made. So even without scripture, God revealed himself to us through the things that he made. Over 97% of the world's population, according to a CIA study, believes in God. That's not because 97% of the world is stupid. That's because 97% of the world has eyes to see and a rational mind to process what they're seeing. Now, I don't know why there's a God instead of nothing, but I do know this. I do know if I could see a painting on a wall, I can assume, even if I can't see him, that there's a painter. I know that if I hold a book in my hand, even if I can't see the author, I can assume that there is one. And I know that if I look at creation, I can assume there's a creator.